Wilson on the clarinet. From Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, Mr. Bob Peruzzi. Why I'm missing Bob Kreitz on the piano. From Stevens, Pennsylvania on the drums, Mr. Doug Cole. Let's drive down, or fly down to New Orleans. That city, oh, it's pretty, historic scenes. I'll take you, parade you down on Bourbon Street. my Bar Perusian solo.
Thank you very much. It's a very nice play. He's my home. I'm going to let Bob do most of the talking today, so Bob will tell you about this next tune.
We're on a quick tour of the city of New Orleans. Been to Bourbon Street, and we were at South Rampart Street, and now we're coming up to Basin Street. With those three main drags, if you can remember those, you're qualified to drive an Uber in New Orleans. Who's going with me? Anyway, let me take you there. Come on and come along with me to the Mississippi. We'll take a trip to the land of dreams, floating on the river down to New Orleans. Oh, the band is there to meet us. Oh, friends to greet us. That's where the young and the old folks meet. It's heaven on earth, they call it Basin Street. Oh, Basin Street. Basin Street, where the Ely love to meet down in New Orleans, the land of dreams. You'll never know how nice it seems or just how much it really means just to be, oh yes sir, down in New Orleans, the land of dreams where I can lose my Basin Street blues.
you very much. Okay. We like to get choices up here. That's Mr. Bob Peruzzi. He's from Bethlehem. I was born in Allentown.
Close enough.
Okay, so we're going to feature him, one of the top trombone players in New Orleans in the beginning of the 1900s that played with Louis Armstrong and the great King Oliver, was a gentleman named Kid Ory. And here's a tune he wrote. He was a trombone player. It's entitled Ory's Creole Trombone, featuring Bob Peruzzi.
tried it yesterday, and during the dog fight, one of the dogs ran away and wouldn't fight. That was my dog. This looks like kind of a young crowd here. I don't know if anyone can remember Alan Sherman from 1962. Anyone? Well, he did a spoof, as he always did, a parody of a gospel song, Down by the Riverside. Maybe you know it. It refers to one of my favorite luncheon meats, and it cautions you not to eat it. We're going to try it now. We'll do an instrumental chorus of Down by the Riverside, and then we'll see where it goes from there. When you go to the delicatessen store, don't buy the liverwurst. Don't buy the liverwurst. Don't buy the liverwurst. It'll make your insides awful sore. Don't buy the liverwurst. Don't buy the liverwurst. You can try the corned beef if you must. The pickled herring you can trust. And the lox puts you in orbit, A-OK. But that old hunk of liverwurst has been there since October 1st. And today is the first day of March. When you go to the delicatessen store, don't buy the liverwurst, don't buy the liverwurst. Don't buy the liverwurst, it'll make your insides awful sore. Don't buy the liverwurst, don't buy the liverwurst. Try the corned beef if you must. The pickled herring you can trust. And the lox puts you in orbit, A-OK. But that old hunk of liverwurst has been there since October 1st. And today is the first day of March. When you go to the delicatessen store, everybody, don't buy the liverwurst. Don't buy the liverwurst. Don't buy the liverwurst. Let me repeat what I just said before. Don't buy the liverwurst. Don't buy the liverwurst. Unless you want to join me, I'm going to have some liverwurst on good rye bread with caraway seeds, with some raw onions and yellow mustard.
Something called Sweet Georgia.
Okay. I think we're going to feature a five-man over here right now, Mr. Bob Price. Bob, tell them what you're going to play, and then go into Ain't Misbehaving after that. We'll be back sooner. We're going to go take a break. No, we're not.
Yeah, but sometimes they disappear here. Okay, Bob said there weren't too many people that were around remembering Alan Sherman in 1962, but how many of you were alive and well in 1974? You know, an adult then or whatever, okay? Well, some of you may remember a movie with Robert Redford and Paul Newman, very popular that year. It was called The Sting. So it's hard to believe, 51 years has gone by since then. But does anybody remember what music was played in the swim? Ragtime, Scott Joplin, you got it. So I had the pleasure, that was great for me. I was playing ragtime for about 10, 15 years before that. That really popularized it. And this was a song that came out as kind of the theme of the movie, even though it was not one of Joplin's most popular rags. It's called The Entertainer, so I'll play it for you now. And as Ben said, we're going to go into tune now with another one of my favorite of the old pianists. Now, this guy came along a little bit later, and he was the king of the stride piano. His name was Mr. Fat Swaller. Thank you, and a special thank you for having this marvelous piano here. It's a beauty.
He's getting spoiled. We had about 4 or 5 jobs this week, and they had a piano at every one. So he told me, Ben, you have to make sure there's a piano. So now I've asked him, you want to do this job? He says, is there going to be a piano there? No, he will bring an electric piano. Let's just say he's happier when there's one there.
Absolutely. In fact, I learned the hard way. I have my Yamaha in the car because I do remember this was a wonderful piano, but sometimes you'll do a gig and they say, oh yeah, don't worry, there's a piano there. Yeah, and it's like been tuned in 1962 or something like that. You just learn the hard way when you do this. But no, seriously, this is a beautiful instrument.
Mr. Bob Kreitz on the piano. Bob is from Wyomissing, PA. This Bob is from Bethlehem. St. Wilson's from Lancaster. From Philadelphia, Van Austin. My Philadelphia Eagle connection. On the drums from Stevens, Doug Culp. And my name's Ben Mauger. I'm from New Cumberland, Pennsylvania. So as you can see, we don't live real close. So people say, how do you learn tunes? Well, I send an email, and I say, we're going to play this tune this year. And we send a couple clips, and then it's up to them to learn it. I can tell who listened, who didn't, but they usually always listen. But I like to challenge us each year, do a few harder songs. So here's one that a lot of bands did that I think is a fabulous tune, and it really goes. It's entitled The Limehouse Blues.
Ready? Nope. On your mark. Wait a minute. Okay, here we go. First one to the finish line gets the cake. Wait a minute. King cake. No music allowed.
after that, we're going to slow it down. We're going to do a tuba feature by Dan Nossetti. We're lucky to get him from Philadelphia. I want to thank Steve when he asked us to come back. Last year we did not have a tuba. And I asked Steve, could we maybe add a player? And he said, by all means, bring him along. So here's Dan Nossetti playing a beautiful tune. Do you know what it means to miss New Orleans? Dan Nossetti on the tuba. Can I have all these mutes up here? I want to do something when I get to use one of these mutes. I have them as a tax write-off, so I have to use them. Bob, you know what we're doing, right?
I can tell you, put that,
Yeah.
serving up the drinks just as usual, and the usual crowd was there. To my right was old Joe McKennedy, bloodshot red. He gathered us guys all around him, and these are the very words he said. I've been down to the St. James Infirmary to see my baby there. She was stretched out on a long white table, so soft, so smooth, so fair. Let her go, God bless her, wherever she may be. She can look this whole world wide over and never find another sweet man like me. When I go, you can bury me in my new suit and my Stetson hat. Put a $20 gold piece on my watch chain, so the boys will know I stood standing pat. Well, that was old Joe's story. Rest of the night gone, he went home. Come back in a couple of weeks and here's old Joe again. Old Joe McKennedy. This time, apparently his period of mourning was over because he had found a new baby. I'm gonna do that now. I found a new baby.
Here's a song called Field Street Blues.
I don't know how to play that one or something. Yeah, this is one of those songs that said, hey guys, learn this song. Find it on YouTube and play it. This is our first time playing it together.
We can tell. Here's a beautiful song that I usually sing. I have a cold, but I sound like Kermit the Frog. So Bob Price has another band. He sings this in. He does a wonderful job. I always tell the audience, with all the crazy stuff going on in the world, get up in the morning, don't look at your phone, don't look at your computer. Leave the television off. Grab your family, your loved ones, your grandkids, give them a hug, play a game of cards, and don't watch everything. Just enjoy it, because it really can still be a wonderful world out there. Bob Kratz.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, bright, blessed day, the dark, sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming out and listening to us. I promised Steve we would do a New Orleans second line. And as advertised, we're going to march around to a tune they play a lot in New Orleans entitled The Joe Avery Blues. You're more than welcome to follow in behind us and enjoy it, or just sit back and listen. Joe Avery Blues. We're going to make sure everybody has what they need. Last night we did a job, and Bob, we didn't have a tuba player. He also plays great tuba. He played tuba. Not like this, but he now is going to play tambourine so he can join the band. We'll go around that way. We're going to start it? Start over here. Okay. Oh yeah, let the tuba start it. This is Joe Avery Blues. Do it. introduce the guys one more time for you. Yeah, mama don't want no trombone down here. Mama don't want a trombone down here. Now Bob don't care why mama don't allow. He's gonna play his trombone anyhow. From Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, Mr. Bob Peruzzi. Down here. We don't want that clarinet down here. From Lancaster, Pennsylvania, Mr. Dave Wilson on the clarinet.
Trumpet playing down here. Oh, then Mauger came here all the way from Cumberland, Pennsylvania. She don't want no trumpet playing down here. Here he goes.
I'm going to want a piano down here, but it's a beautiful piano. My good friend from Wyomissing, Pennsylvania, Mr. Bob Kreitz, is going to play you a rendition of it. When the Saints, here he is, Bob Kreitz. Mama don't want no tuba down here. Yeah, you don't want a tuba unless you can find this man, Mr. Don Lasani from the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. My good friend, Mr. Dan Lasani on the tuba. Play it, Dan. He's got the coolest belt in the land. We got one more to go. We always save the best for last. Mama don't want no drums down here. We don't want to hear the banging and the cymbals going. Doug don't care what mama don't allow. He don't listen to anyone. From Stevens, Pennsylvania, Mr. Doug Culp on the drums. Everybody, here we go. Mama don't want the New Orleans band down here. They don't want to hear New Orleans band down here. We don't care what Mama don't allow. We're going to play the music for you anyhow. And good night and thank you for having us.